What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today on this video I'm going to go over how you can make data-driven decisions in your real estate wholesaling business. Alright guys, so again, welcome back to another video. My name is Gino Plumber, real estate investor here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm going to go over in this video how can you make data-driven decisions and what is data-driven decisions, right? And so how are we going to do this? Well, first we need data. In other words, we need KPIs, key performance indicators. We need to be able to track our business at all different levels, at all different flows of our business to understand where we need to be. And what do I mean by flows? Well, what I mean by that is we have marketing, we have sales, we have dispositions, we have transaction coordination, we have finance. Now, what are some KPIs we can look at? Well, big ones here from marketing and sales. What we look at is how many new leads we get, how many net leads we get, how many appointments we set, how many appointments we complete, how many contracts do we get, and how many deals do we sell, right? So again, how many leads, how many net leads? Net leads are the amount of leads we actually get on the phone, right? Because we get leads pushed into our CRM, and once we get new leads in our CRM, we have to have our lead managers contact those people. We have them to get them back on the phone. It might have been a text lead, a cold call lead, TV lead, whatever it might be. We have to get them back on the phone. Once we get them back on the phone to confirm they want to sell their property, we then now classify those as net leads because we talk to them and they have a property they want to sell. Doesn't matter if they're motivated, doesn't matter if they want above market, they just want to sell a property. That's a net lead. So new leads, net leads to appointments set, okay? So how many of those people that we talk to as a lead manager do we set to an appointment? How many appointments do we complete out of the amount of appointments we set? We might set 10 appointments, but usually we try to complete 8 of them because the other 20% or two in that scenario, 2 appointments, we just couldn't get the seller back on the phone. So we couldn't complete those. Now, out of those 8 we complete, how many turn into contracts? How many of those do our acquisition managers or home buying specialists actually lock up, right? So we try to do 20% of that. In that case, it's 1.6 contracts. We know we can't have a 0.6, so we'll just say 1 contract. And out of that one contract, what's our percentage we'll sell that deal? And it's usually 70% that we close on it, whether we get around any title issues, we can find a buyer, all that good stuff, right? The other 30% that we cancel is usually because either the property needs a lot more work, there's title issues, or any unforeseen things, right? We all dealt with that in the past, but those are our main KPIs. And once we have that data, we can start making decisions. And I'll give you some examples, right? Hey, if we have a net lead, and I'll give you the baselines of all of our things here. New lead to net lead is about 80%. We want 80% of our leads to get on the phone, right? So we get 100 leads sent in, and let's just say in this example of SMS, 80 of them, we want them to actually be able to get on the phone with us. We want to talk to them, right? The other 20, we can't get a hold of, they're not answering their phone or whatever it might be, but we get a hold of 80 of them. That's what we want, 80%. Now, what we also want is net lead to appointment to be around 12.5%. So if we get 100 net leads, 100 people that are LMs talk to, we want about 12.5 of those to be appointments, right? We want 12.5 appointments. So technically you can't have half of an appointment, so we want at least 12 appointments out of the 100 net leads. Now, I've already talked about it. We complete about 80% of our appointments. Right? We get them on the phone and make an offer. So 80% of 12, I'm giving myself a little hard numbers here, but it's a little bit around, it's like 9 point something. We want to be able to complete, and we want to be able to complete 80% of our appointments, and that leaves us to about 9 appointments completed. Out of those 9 appointments completed, we want to close 20%. Again, in my scenario, I'm not really helping myself. Let's just say it was 10 appointments we completed. We want to close 20% of all of our appointments that we complete, which would equal to 2 contracts. And out of the 2 contracts, we want to sell 70% of those. So more than likely we sell 1+, right? And that's our numbers, right? I'll just break it down without having those weird numbers. New lead to net lead, 80%. Net lead to appointment, 12.5%. Appointment to appointment complete, 80%. Appointment complete to contract, minimum 20%. And contract to close, 70%. Once we have all those numbers, we can now make our data-driven decisions. Because guess what? When we see that we completed 10 appointments and we only have one contract, we know something's up. We know that we're closing at 10% or we're supposed to be closing at 20%. Now I know as the CEO of the business, I need to go to the sales director. I need to go look at the acquisition department and see, hey, all the numbers else were good, all the ratios, but we only closed 10% of our deals when we're supposed to be closing 20%. So now I know what I need to work on. I need to work on the acquisition managers, see what's going on. Are we offering all the strategies? Are we digging deep into pain? And now I know what I'm doing here, right? Now I know where I need to fix to get better. Now what happens, let's say, we have 1,000 new leads come in a month, but we only got a hold of 600, only 600 net leads. That means we missed out on 40% of the net leads or the new leads to turn them into net, when usually we only want to miss out on 20%. So we lost another 200 leads that we couldn't get a hold of. What's going on? What are our lead managers doing? I know that's a lead management problem. They need to be calling the people that haven't got reached yet more. Those 400 people that haven't got reached, right? Again, 600 people became a net lead. That means 400 other people we haven't got a hold of. We need to figure out how to get that down to 200 people, whether that means a mass text, whether that means looking at other LMs actually calling these people. That means, do we have to hire more LMs? And now I know it's a lead management problem, right? LM equals lead management. And now I can hone in on that department. But if I didn't track my numbers, my KPIs, my key performance indicators, or my data, I wouldn't know how to do that. So again, very important. How we can make data-driven decisions is by first understanding what numbers we need to track and figuring out the baseline. Now, your numbers might be somewhat and completely different than mine, those numbers I just gave you, because everyone has different marketing sources. Everyone has different qualification processes. For example, our net lead to appointment ratio is 12.5%. Our mentors is 30%, but that's because they only focus on inbound marketing like TV and TV and like mail. We focus on a lot of outbound texting and cold calling, and only a few like TV inbound. So for sure, ours is diminishing to 12.5 when his is like 25% net lead to appointment. So everyone's business is different, but you can use ours as a really good baseline, especially if you're using the same types of marketing as us, as TV, SMS, and cold call. And mostly a lot of our leads come from SMS. So if you're doing that, they should be pretty similar there. So I hope you got a lot of value from this video, guys. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Please like, subscribe, share this video. Please tag me on Instagram that you're watching it. I would greatly appreciate it. And thanks again. I'll see you on the next video.